Welcome to the War Report podcast. As you can see, Vince Berry is not with us this evening. It is his birthday. Happy birthday, Vince. This one's for you. And it's also dedicated to the one and only best there is, the best there was, and the best that there really ever will be, Bret the Hitman Hart. Our thoughts are with you and your family, and we're going to talk a little more about it in just a few minutes. What's going on, guys? Let's go around the room. Eric, you're always first in line, resident Jew.
It just so happens. Yep, I'm doing pretty good. I'm looking forward to tonight. Vince, happy birthday. We'll miss you. We got some big things cooking for Tag Me a Date and for the War Report, so stay tuned.
Next in line, the intern. What's up, bud?
Not a whole lot. Once again, happy birthday to Vince. And he better not be feeling sour. It's his birthday.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, it's true.
It's a birthday. Yes, it is.
So, a couple quick things I just want to quickly get into, and then we'll get into it. This was a really big weekend this past weekend for wrestling. So, if any wrestling fans missed it, you guys really got to look into these companies and really start supporting the indie wrestling. Out here, Northeast Wrestling in Bethany, Connecticut, they just had a show this past Saturday where Matt Taven was in the house and he had to relinquish the world title. Did a big farewell for the time being as he heals up. It was really, really great. They packed the house. Fire marshal was there. They had to turn people away at the door. And they crowned a new champion that night. Warbeard, King Warbeard Hansen, is now the champion of Northeast Wrestling. You guys have to check out Mike Lombardi and Northeast Wrestling. They're great. And in the Carolinas, in the Wilmington area, Gimmick Tree Entertainment brought Modern Vintage Wrestling, and they sold out both their shows. Tommy Dreamer was there, Rob B. from TNA. So big things are happening around in the indie scene, and you got to definitely check them out because indie wrestling is where it begins, and it's where these guys start to really develop who they are in the ring and potentially get that chance at the big time. With that out of the way, Eric, Bret Hart came out that he's got prostate cancer.
It's heartbreaking, no pun intended. It's, no, it truly is, though. I mean, that's like...
Sorry, I'm a big person for puns, and
obviously he probably knew for I don't know what amount of time, but he had to process this and just wanted to announce to the wrestling world. Our thoughts are with him, definitely. But I know he's gonna excellently execute this cancer, man.
hopefully he's gone through enough in his life.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm gonna say before that, I'm just gonna come in with a whole nother opinion of Bret Hart.
What do you mean?
Oh, his Rumble thoughts.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, everyone's entitled
I'm
to their own
not saying
opinion.
taking anything away from Bret. He's, like I said, he is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. But his grading skills and me don't get along.
Listen, I happen to agree with you. I don't necessarily agree with his comments, but, at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and, listen.
Completely agree.
He comes from a very old school,
Yeah.
Eric, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence with. Sometimes I agree with them, sometimes I don't. But it's like you said, everyone's got an opinion, and that's fine. That's what makes wrestling so great,
Yeah.
That's why I love it. That's why I always have and I always will. You could get people together. Steve and I know each other for, pretty much all our 36 years on this earth, and we don't get, agree with everything on wrestling,
No, in fact, a lot of wrestling, we don't agree at all.
But it makes it great. It makes it fun. It makes it interesting. It makes these shows that we do interesting.
Yep.
The War Report would be boring if we all agreed with each other all the time.
Exactly.
Preach.
No, it just feels more like he has an axe to grind against Triple H than sometimes a legitimate
Yeah, I mean, listen. At the end of the day, too, Bret Hart is probably very bitter. You
I
know,
don't blame him. That's a lot of.
you look at guys his age that can still go, and he can't because of health reasons, and it sucks. And I'm sure he's a little bit bitter about it. But at the end of the day, you know, it's cancer sucks. You know,
No, I'm not.
and you hate to see another legend, you know, having to battle something. And at the end of the day, our thoughts and prayers are with him and the family, and we hope everything turns out all right. If anyone's going to beat cancer, it's going to be Bret Hart.
Exactly. I just wanted to explain where I was coming from. That it wasn't a hatred or taking anything away from Bret.
Oh, I didn't think that at all.
Yeah, I like putting it. I like putting it out there. So there's.
The intern does not want hate mail.
I don't want to wake. I don't want to wake up and have like a pipe bomb thrown.
You're gonna have fucking TMZ calling him tomorrow. You know, what were your comments?
I was going to say, speaking of comments, did you hear what Marty Jannetty had to say?
Yeah, you know, you want to know though my honest opinion. I look at it this way. People sometimes do not like to hear the truth out loud.
No.
And at the end of the day, she didn't say anything that wasn't true.
Right. You know, and she wasn't trying to make it. She was just making a point as far as.
Oh no, she knew she'd get heat by making a comment like that because at the end of the day, it's still the Rockers.
Yeah,
you know?
because you still got the ooh, you know.
But listen, when you think about the Rockers, you know, no matter how many amazing matches that they had together, and they did. But when you think the Rockers, the only thing that comes to mind is the barbershop. And is there a problem with the Rockers? I don't think so. In the super kick and the throw through the window.
Of course.
That's all you think about, you know. And then after that, Marty Jannetty kind of fell off. So and Shawn Michaels became a legend. So you know she didn't say anything that was wrong. You know, listen, it's something else that he can just kind of bitch about and get his name back in there and be like, you know, I'm still here. You know.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I mean, okay, you know, maybe his career didn't work out as planned, but he also had some issues and problems too
Right.
that were his own fault, and
Right.
you know, people, you know, have these things going on in their lives, but at the end of the day, yeah, you know, and that's fine. But I still like Marty. I liked him as a wrestler. Obviously, he's no Shawn Michaels, you know, and that's all right. Not everyone can be.
Yeah.
But I still like Marty, and damn it, I'm gonna go meet him at when Tag Me a Date goes to WrestleCon. All right.
That's funny. But yeah, so well, I guess why don't we dig into Raw a little bit? And I overall don't think it was a bad Raw.
Kind of was a holding pattern.
Yeah, but you know,
Got some progress here and there.
yeah. I mean, and overall, I thought it was pretty decent. Listen, every time Sasha Banks is out, she's awesome. I love everything about it. I like how she's gonna really be on her own now, away from the other two.
I did enjoy the Divas.
Yeah.
Getting the filler feud with Brie, for Fastlane to open up WrestleMania for Sasha.
Right.
Yeah, and then Sasha could stay busy against her former teammates.
Yep.
For Fastlane.
Her and Becky Lynch can make a good tag team match for Fastlane.
Yeah.
Crossing my fingers, I'm going.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I think there were some good spots. I think you know, I like how they're booking AJ Styles right now. You know, a lot of people were kind of nervous. It's like everyone's so excited that AJ's here, and I still, every time I see him on WWE TV,
It's surreal.
I still have a tough time like coming to terms with the fact that you know he's there.
He's there.
You know, and that they didn't have to change his gimmick and all that stuff. But a lot of people were nervous about, oh, is Vince going to ruin him? Is he not going to be able to be AJ Styles and whatever? And so far, I like how he's being booked, and they're building it. You know, he's going to have a great match on SmackDown with The Miz, because whether people like him or not, he can wrestle. So it's going to be a good matchup.
It's a perfect filler feud.
Right, and it's going to get him ready for his feud with Owens, which I think we are going to see some magical stuff come out of the two of them, and It's going to be fun to watch. So I really like what they're doing with AJ. Yeah, I mean overall, I think I think it was a decent Raw. I can't complain. Brock, Heyman being on commentary is always great.
Yep.
And
The opening promo was really good with him and Ambrose.
yeah, we'll see, and that's the thing too. Ambrose,
Ambrose was great. I just wanted to see what the fuss was all about.
that was funny. But
And
yeah,
the build-up from with the backstage stuff was really good.
yeah.
With Heyman and Steph and Heyman and Triple
That
H.
was great too. Yeah, Steph was like, "You don't want to be known as Roman's sidekick all the time," and then Dean was like, "Well, sometimes Roman's my sidekick." He had some digs there, and I like it.
But the inevitable is coming. I mean, it's just a matter of time. Ambrose is going to probably turn heel.
Though for AJ Styles, I prefer that short hair on him. The long hair is, I don't know.
I kind of like his look right
I'm
now.
digging it.
He looks badass to me.
I like it. I'm so used to his short hair.
Yeah, I don't know.
TNA.
I like the look. I do.
I'm not
think it
taking
fits
anything
perfectly.
against it. It's just my.
No, I think
how
you
I-
are.
I think it's quote unquote phenomenal.
I see what you did there. Well played, sir. Well played. But no,
Yeah,
I
thank you.
do. I think it was good. So Ryan, go ahead. What were your overall thoughts on Raw?
Enjoyed it. I'm just looking down the sheet again just to take a look. What I really wished they had a direction for Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, let's talk about Tyler Breeze for a minute. I'm glad you brought him up. And, I mean, as you can see, they finally used him on Raw, but he got squashed. And this is, it obviously goes to what I've been hearing, and that's just Vince is just completely lost any faith in him, which I don't understand why. He gets the reaction, he's got the look, he can wrestle, the gimmick is working, so what is he not seeing?
The muscles, the big body. He needs to look like Roman Reigns.
No, but that's not really true, though. It's not. If you look at the push that AJ Styles is about to
I'm
get.
sorry, I just
But no, seriously, like what is missing?
I don't know.
What is Vince sitting there saying that I lost faith in him after a fucking month? They didn't do anything with him. They put him with Summer Rae. That's gonna do you wonders. Fucking
And then
dimwit.
they separated him with no fanfare, no.
Have you noticed that Summer Rae has been like the kiss of death? First Fandango, and then
So true.
and then
It's so true.
and who else was she with?
Rusev.
Rusev, but wasn't she also with
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph and somebody else too? I think.
Spin around the world.
Adam Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little thing with Adam Rose. Yeah, she's a career killer. She's the new Mike Awesome.
She's the career-killing whore of the WWE locker room. She just goes from guy to guy. I don't get it. I mean, Tyler Breeze to me is that guy that can take his gimmick from NXT and make it work in the WWE.
I have a bigger question at hand. What's going on with the primetime players?
Darren Young, I think, is still hurt. I think that's just all that is. So they're giving Titus a push.
You had a tag team match at the pre-show for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he tagged with Sandow, which was kind of odd.
Yeah, that was a weird. In that pub for Sandow, I know I wasn't here last week, but that was that was great.
Awesome.
I don't get it. This roster is stacked, and there's people that are just on the wayside.
Yeah, like even with the major injuries, it's still a good roster and very talented people. The problem also
People aren't
with
in
Breeze-
the right spots. Though.
the problem with Breeze may be that I think they don't always have a clear idea of what they want to do with a person that they bring up from NXT. You know what I mean? They don't have a vision.
But the gimmick, the character is what gives you that vision.
Right.
You're telling me a room of 30 fucking writers can't think of something to write for Tyler Breeze?
That's the issue. There's 30
it's
writers.
ridiculous.
But
with
he's
30
got
different
such a
plans.
solid gimmick, and he's the first to ever do
It's
the
baffling.
live. I mean, it's just he does it so well. I don't know. I think it's bullshit, and I hope they give Tyler Breeze, the opportunity, because to use him as really just an enhancement guy is going to just be a wasted talent. And then you know what's going to happen? He's going to wind up getting released. He's going to be huge on the indie scene.
Oh,
And then he's going to wind up going to TNA or New Japan or Ring of Honor or,
gotcha.
right, and he's going to be a huge star. And then Vince will bring him back, But I just, they're not giving him a fair shake, and it sucks.
And to even transition to a face, all he would have to do is interact with the crowd.
Yeah, but, I mean, he doesn't need to be a face.
I'm not saying he doesn't have to be. I'm just saying if they really wanted to transition him to a face.
Well, all he has to do is take selfies with people.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think he needs to be.
He needs to be a heel. I'm just saying if down the road, if you want to push him to a face, it takes 2 little steps and he's a face.
Yeah. Well, what else on Raw?
See here.
Yet another turn for the Bellas because...
Yeah, I was contemplating that or the Big Show Eric Rowan match to talk about.
I mean, that match ended. Well, the Bellas. Well, I mean, the first thing I said about the Bellas was, I guess they're face again this week. And by Bellas, I mean Brie and Alicia Fox. Apparently,
it's kind of harder to keep them as a heel with Nikki being out with neck surgery, though.
And and I think it's garnering them some sympathy. So that's why they're.
I get it, but you got to make a fucking decision now. For a year, every other week they jump. It's like,
True.
Paige also.
Well, yeah, she's another one.
Yeah, the last storyline was her attacking
Natalia, and then they're beating
the besties again.
Yeah. I don't get it. But that goes along with when I say the WWE sometimes thinks we're stupid.
They do.
So
it's
all right. Well, I mean that's pretty much Raw. Anyone else have anything else to add on Raw?
I don't get why Eric Rowan took the pin.
Doesn't he always though?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at is why he's one of the more talented ones in the Wyatt family.
Speaking of Wyatts, we can touch upon the reason why Bray was not.
I have that news.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, Blackjack is not doing well, so they gave him and Bo the night off.
I did like the Social Outcast reasoning why he wasn't there.
Yeah. New Day. We could talk about New Day. Cut another great promo last night.
Oh, I love it.
Hilarious. They really are.
It's a shame. I would prefer to see them have at least got a DQ instead of taking the pin.
And I'm very happy with the fact that they're pretty much using the Freebird rule for the tag belts. I love it.
Oh, I love it.
I wish they would have done that with the Shield. I kind of wanted them to do that with the Shield a few years back.
Yeah.
Would have been nicer to see Ambrose actually wrestle more into the title matches instead of his once-a-year U.S. title defense.
See, yeah, and that's the reason why I wanted that to happen, because he got the singles title, and that's fine, but they didn't have him really defend it much at all. And he was in the 6-mans most of the time anyway, so you might as well have the 3 of them be the tag champs. And New Day are doing great with that thing.
Yeah.
I know they did that with the Spirit Squad too, but come on.
Yeah, you had 1 or 2 really good people in that.
Nobody gives a flying fuck about the Spirit Squad.
No.
Yeah, we got Mr. Ziggles from that, so that's all that matters.
So, moving off of Raw, TNA. I'm actually happy to be able to start talking about TNA again because it's actually been improving. And I really am enjoying what they're doing with Matt right now and EC3. And Angle's about to have his final match in TNA.
I think we did.
Beer Money, they brought back the Feast or Fired. I mean, a lot of good things right now, and Kong once again was sent home from the
Yes,
tour,
we were talking about that.
and you know they haven't made a decision on whether or not she's going to be fired. I mean, when you got your world champion and you're fighting with his wife, that's going to screw things up for you a little bit. And Kong has a history of putting her hands on people and getting sent home and or fired. And if that does happen, does Karma come back to WWE? What's up, Stu?
What's up, buddy?
It's Stu.
It's Stu.
What?
Stu.
So, Eric, what do you think?
That's okay. I have a question, and this is not. I don't want to judge because I'm not a parent. You're a parent. I want to know what your opinion is on having them come out with the baby at all, and I don't know. I just don't really understand. You know, it's kind of putting the baby's safety on the line in a way.
I'm gonna jump in because that baby has never been in harm's way. Anytime that child has been in the ring, there has been no physical action going on in the ring where the baby could be in any danger.
Okay.
And when he is out in the ring, Brodus is holding him, and if Brodus was to ever fall down, he is so large, the baby is going to be super protected.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I think it's they're not putting him in any danger.
All right.
Though, report about that backstage fight, Karma did it right, 10 feet away from the baby? That isn't going to win her any favors.
Right, the baby was in the vicinity, that's true. Listen, Karma's always had an attitude problem. I mean, this is not a new story. Look what happened with Bubba the Love Sponge back in the day.
Yeah, but Bubba deserved it.
I was going to say that was a little bit more different.
Listen, whether he deserved it or not,
She was still out of line, and
Yeah.
she was still out of line. She cannot put her hands on them unless they're in the ring.
Ugh.
Oh, that is true.
Especially how the trigger, her being in the locker room, that you can't even. I can't. I've been trying to mount a defense for that. I can't.
But if she did become Karma again and come back to WWE, she's got the open storyline with the Bellas right there.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. If they bother with continuity, I'm just saying.
That would be nice. I'd love to see it. Ugh.
Stu, opinions?
Bring her back and she'll beat the crap out of everybody. I would love to see her back in the ring.
Who?
Karma.
Karma?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I would love to see her back in the WWE.
NXT or main roster though?
Oh, main roster,
Main
dude.
roster.
Absolutely.
Main roster for sure, because it's not like, she's coming in first time kind of deal. Like, she was main roster when she got knocked up.
Yeah, that was just comment. Maybe a Nia Jax feud to kick it off. That's all.
Yeah. But no, but TNA, I've been looking forward to it, so I'm excited to see how it continues. But so far, it's been pretty decent, and their ratings are starting to go up, which I think is also in turn that more people are starting to get the network.
Yeah, a lot more homes that have the network, and the product's been watchable.
Yeah, and I unfortunately don't have it.
Really?
Yeah.
You should call your cable company and see if they're getting it, because most are starting to pick it up now because of this. So.
Unfortunately, not too many. It never feels like it really does too much. I was trying to a couple years back to get DirecTV to pick up The Blaze, and that went nowhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, so last week we talked a little bit about Sunny and how
A little Sunny Delight.
I unfortunately saw the trailer and. Well, quite frankly, it scared me, and I have absolutely no desire to see the video. So the news of the day today, and this is via UProx and TMZ and everyone else, that Sonny has publicly asked to do a film now with China.
I'm gonna
I
throw
didn't
up.
read that.
Who's gonna buy that?
I'm gonna throw up.
Oh dear. It was so bad it killed his connection.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. Oh, and then this is another little tidbit that I didn't notice because I saw the trailer and I wish I hadn't, but I saw the trailer and apparently, and I didn't notice it in it, but I learned this after the fact. Apparently, she was wearing her freaking Hall of Fame ring in the video, and that just pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Fortunately, I can say I did
They
not watch the
wouldn't
video.
want it back. That's gross, man.
I saw the link and kind of went the other direction. I say I made a good choice.
Yeah, it's haunting. And it's just a shame because, you know, if it was Sonny 20 years ago, it'd be a different conversation.
Yeah.
Sure would.
But a lot of drugs and weight gain later, you know, she looks almost like a granny having sex, and she doesn't even look like she's enjoying it.
Yeah, she reeks of
Yeah,
desperation.
there's no enthusiasm, and
You know, so I will not be giving Vivid any of my money to see that video, that's for sure.
I wouldn't watch it if someone paid me to.
So the injury plague continues in the WWE as we're approaching the biggest show of the year. Now Alberto Del Rio with a possible neck injury, as he's still being booked for the match at Fastlane. But yeah, another injury. I mean, what the fuck? Is something in the water?
Who knows? Even with the, I was just thinking about that. With a match, you could easily stretch it out and save Del Rio if he's actually truly hurt with a League of Nations running.
Can't have Sheamus.
They might as well
Can't have
disband
Wade
the League of
Barrett
Nations.
because Wade Barrett's still hurt. It's like the whole fucking League of Nations is down. The only one still standing is Rusev.
League of Injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then baffles me is that even if you're not going to use Barrett to wrestle if he can't every time, have him out there because he's the one that's the best on the microphone out of all of them.
Yeah.
That's a very true story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he could deliver bad news to their opponents or something. You know?
Deliver elbow. It's his. What is his injury right now? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Who?
Barrett.
I think it's his shoulder.
No, that kind of throws that out the window.
Have shoulder
Or
injuries.
elbow. Something like that. I mean,
I was gonna say have him deliver that his big elbow, but that would kind of make things worse right there.
it wouldn't help. That's for sure. I don't know. It just they're dropping like flies. And what the fuck is going on with Orton? Last I heard, he was not getting the neck surgery. He was ready to go. Why with all these guys falling out? Why are we not bringing Sir Randall back?
Is it a question that he doesn't need it now, and will he take the surgery instead of waiting for it to get worse and absolutely need it?
That I couldn't tell you, my friend.
Because I'm somewhere in between on Orton, but if I don't want him to go out and continue to work away at that neck, if he needs eventually going to need the surgery, and it's just playing a waiting game, and eventually that one bump is going to push it over the edge.
I mean, you know, really at 35, he's still got a lot left, to do. I mean, well, maybe not. I mean, he's done it all, yes,
Yeah.
but he's still young enough where he can be there for quite a while longer.
Yeah, there's no point in risking a career-threatening injury over coming back a couple months early.
Well, and quite frankly, the WWE is not going to put him in that kind of situation anyway.
That, especially
Yeah,
with
I know.
how they're handling Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, well, so let's talk about Daniel Bryan. This fucking guy has gotten 4 outside doctors outside of WWE to clear him, and the WWE is still not using him. So is that their way of just being done with him? Too much of a liability, or?
I almost think that it's partly because they want Roman over, which is not working, by the way. But
No, it isn't. Those, like I was saying before the Rumble, it's when I was asked if he was ready for WrestleMania. It is the casual crowd, he's fine, but the smart, like the Royal Rumble WrestleMania crowd, are they ready for him? And at
Well,
the Rumble,
clearly, they already proved at the Rumble that they're not ready.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be a dick to Roman, but it comes to a point where
it's not on him entirely
Yeah.
either. It's the booking of him.
Well,
That's
you know
the
what I'm
problem.
saying. I'm more talking the Roman character than
Yeah.
whatever his real name is. Unfortunately, it's the same rigmarole that we keep on getting into. I know I love.
We just lost Stu again.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that at all.
I just out of the corner of my eye, I just see him disappear.
I was more laughing at my rigmarole than. Sorry. But it's the same cycle that they're trying to get him pushed out there, but at the same time they're pushing back, and the more you push forward, the more resistance you're going to get. Especially when you have Dean Ambrose, you have AJ Styles, who can easily step up and get a main event feud. You have all these organic
and Joe when he
pushes
gets
going.
going.
Joe too. You can easily you could have had him in the Rumble and started a main event feud.
Does anyone know how long Lesnar is going to be around after Mania 32?
The last contract he signed, which was what, after Mania last year, it was a 3-year deal. So Lesnar's not going anywhere.
Okay, because I think, in my opinion, Lesnar versus Joe is a Mania-worthy match.
Absolutely, I would.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
That would be great.
But I heard they have him for more SmackDown tapings.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, because it went live now, they want to check up the ratings.
Well, it's not live. It's just on USA.
I have
They
to
need
say,
it
Oh,
live.
right. You know what I mean.
I have to say, SmackDown, I stopped watching for a while. I went back to it once it hit USA Network again, and I have to say, it's been better.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, Mauro Ranallo is great. He's
Can't
a
say
great
that
commentator. They made Lawler a heel commentator again, which is awesome. And they're trying to bring in a couple more of the bigger stars, probably more so towards Mania, and I think it'll probably die off after that. But it's been better.
Can't say Lawler's role is a heel. He doesn't.
It's
No way he should have been
refreshing
a face.
to have him as a heel again.
You cannot sit there and say that he doesn't do a face well, though, because he's been
I'm
a face
not
for the
saying
last 10
he
years.
can do it good,
Mhm.
but I appreciate his heel
Oh, in
work.
my opinion, he hasn't been good in quite a while.
Well,
But-
that's just your opinion.
But again, with the commentary, though, when you have Vince McMahon screaming in your ear all the time for these guys to not even concentrate on what the fuck is going on in the match, and they're talking about Roman Reigns, concentrate on what's going on. Call the match. I hate that.
Well, that was Mick Foley's biggest issue, and that's why he stopped doing it.
Yeah, and I can't blame him for it. I'm sorry. I mean, I wouldn't want somebody screaming in my ear all the time to plug the network 24/7.
Plug this, plug that.
We get it. Look, I have the network. I love the network, but I'm not gonna shill it.
Yeah. It's like what JR said. He could not announce in this atmosphere. Though speaking of JR, he's back in the announcing booth.
Where he belongs.
And that's so good to hear.
Oh, I love it.
Regardless of what company he works for, I'm glad he's calling wrestling.
I want to see him at Mania one more time.
And by the way, I've seen some of JR's tweets recently. His stuff is now in stores. His barbecue sauce is in stores, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Where?
That's still nice
I don't-
of.
I
Go
don't
ahead,
know
I'm
what
sorry.
stores exactly, but I know they're being sold now, and I'm like, damn, I got to find out where.
WWE Shop is still carrying it.
I know, but if I can run and grab it from my grocery
Oh
store.
yeah, yeah.
Because that's some good ass sauce, man.
It is.
I did a pulled pork,
Mhm.
and I used JR's barbecue sauce, and it was amazing.
Oh, and good news for tagging me a date, by the way. So Stephanie McMahon was on Good Morning America this morning, and she was doing an interview about women in wrestling and her being a powerful woman and, you know, this and that. And she, on camera, said that 49% of wrestling fans today are women. Just throwing that out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's
Wow.
a huge number.
It is a pretty big number.
Oh, yeah.
Stephanie's a good out there spokesman for that.
Oh, she's great. I mean, look at all the outside stuff she does, and you know, community type stuff. I mean, she's great.
Oh man. All
Yeah.
right.
I mean, look, people can say what they want and can claim that WWE has hidden agendas and this and that, but it's still. Whoop, there goes Stu again. But it's still nice that, like, why can't they do something nice like Connor's Cure or even the Susan G. Komen or anything without being criticized that they're doing it for this or that? Why can't they just do something nice, you know?
Well, because people want to try and find the worst in every situation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's just human nature. It's what we do. I'm not agreeing with it, but that's just what fucking happens.
yeah.
I mean, just last night, I'm digging into the politics, but Cruz put out a CNN article, and CNN completely flubbed up their report on Ben Carson. Who's getting the flack for it? Cruz. It's people always look at it for the worst case scenario. And when you look for the worst case scenario, you're always going to find that worst case on where, like WWE, they're doing it for an alternative motive. Though Stephanie definitely didn't do herself favors when, what was the line? It was something like, charity's the new form of advertising or something like that.
Well, she's not wrong.
No, I'm not saying she's wrong, but it doesn't help fuel the attitude of they're doing it for an alternative motive. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm not saying she isn't doing herself any favors.
I see your point on that.
It's hard to go, oh yes, and I believe 100% that Connor's cure was for Connor, and they poured their heart out to the child, but they undercut their own effort by slipping up with their words.
Yeah. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, they've got, you know, the Be a Star campaign, and look, I'm sorry, if you didn't at least get somewhat emotional during watching the Connor stuff, then you are heartless. I'm sorry.
Hey, I was in the crowd for the Hall of Fame where they did Connor, Ultimate Warrior, and Connor's dad. I honestly, that was depressing. I have never been more depressed at a wrestling event. And I was just, and they
I'll give you that.
back to back to back and back, and I'm just sitting there in the crowd.
I'll tell you what, the moment that got me the most was when Connor's little brother said, like, I love you, Connor. I was like, oh, right there,
No,
right
I'm
there.
sitting there. I'm just like, are you wanting people in this crowd just to commit suicide? I feel awful.
But you know, like that to me, it's nice that they do that. It's touching. I'm glad that they do that stuff. And
I wouldn't want
and
it
then
any
when
way.
it comes to the Be a Star campaign, what people have to realize is that, okay, you know, some people think it's contradictory because they do this, you know, don't be a bully, yet they portray bully. I'm like, well, it's wrestling. It's always been like that. You know, they're characters. Stephanie has even said, I mean, unfortunately, well, kayfabe has been broken a long time ago,
Yeah.
but she basically said, look, these are characters. It's okay. We're not, you know, we're not. How is that us being hypocrites? You know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, like you said, you have to have the conflict. If you don't have a villain, you will never have your face.
Yeah.
Which might be the huge issue with Roman Reigns. Who's his Joker to his Batman?
I'm almost wondering if they're going to do like some kind of double turn at Mania where Triple H you know, it's like you said, Ryan. You brought this up several weeks back that Triple H might get that effect that he had in the Cena match 10 years ago. That, you know, with Roman, and I'm like, I wonder if they would do like some kind of double turn where somehow Triple H becomes the sympathetic hero out of it.
Yeah. Oh, the internet crowd, the international crowd will definitely side with Triple H over Roman Reigns. However, I got a fun storyline idea. I'm gonna put my Booker's hat on for this.
All right.
Say Triple H is at 14 title reigns, right?
14, yes.
What about if, say, when Cena comes back, he ties in for the Ric Flair record, and Triple H comes out of retirement to prevent Cena from breaking Ric Flair's record, and they feud over the record. Because if Triple H takes the title off Cena, that would give him 15,
Right.
which would have him tied for.
Bye, Stu.
It would be an interest. Instead, if Cena's going to break the record, it would be who else should he go up against to break it, other than someone who's right at his heels to breaking the record.
Well, Orton's at like 13, I think.
But has Orton been? You'd have to give him 3 title reigns.
Right. Yeah, that's
3 versus 2. And Triple H technically only needs 1 to be in the contendership of breaking it.
right. Right, because Cena's at 15.
Yep.
Right.
Maybe some tomfoolery where Triple H
like-
drops it at Mania, and then
wasn't that Jon Stewart's reasoning for doing what he did to Cena because he didn't want
Yeah.
exactly.
you know, him to break he didn't want Cena to break Flair's record.
It was awesome.
But it would be a little more interesting to actually see an actual feud over it.
Oh, absolutely. I
And-
agree with that.
I would love to see Triple H actually back in the ring. I miss seeing
Well,
it.
you're going to see Triple H back in the ring at Mania.
Oh, you know what I'm saying, though. After Mania, he's going to be done for maybe SummerSlam.
That's true.
I feel like they still have to do that Triple H Rollins match, probably maybe SummerSlam.
Probably. But I was just thinking, if you're going to it's going to happen. But if you're going to make it happen, at least up the stakes to a level that you're breaking Ric Flair's record. And especially with Ric Flair in the company, he can easily side with Triple H.
Well, yeah, because I'm sure Flair would rather have one of his proteges reach the record than Cena.
That would be an easy storyline to write.
If
Writes
you
itself.
if you look at interviews with Flair, like I'm talking real life interviews
Yeah.
and stuff, he doesn't really care if the streak is broken, if the titles is broken or not. He doesn't care.
What, technically, isn't it like 22 reigns he has?
I mean, they like to promote the 16. I mean, it's been debated for so long now that who knows at this point.
Yeah, that's what I keep on hearing is
Like what
it's
they
a
count,
different-
what they don't count, and
that NWA whole thing is a mess. I've been watching old Starcades due to the Lopspan Wrestling Podcast, and that's fun. You seem confused there.
there was there were several titles where title changes where it didn't really technically count. Like the NWA
Yeah.
didn't count it. Like he lost like one to Carlos Colon. That didn't happen. There was even one to Harley Race somewhere that didn't officially count, and one to some other dude that didn't count. There's all that, and yet there was one that did count that went to like guys like Ronnie Garvin who
Yeah.
shouldn't have been anywhere near the world title.
Who knows? That end up just into the 1990 of Royal Rumble where Sting's kind of taken over the reins.
Yeah, but speaking of the NWA, I really wish that TNA had stayed together with them, because
The
having the NWA title in a promotion that's on television is good. It brings it back to relevance. Where I'll be honest, the NWA hasn't meant anything to me in like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But
It hasn't really
when-
meant much to anybody in 20
yeah,
years.
but during
Right.
the brief time that it was with TNA, it actually was a bigger deal again.
true.
To have guys like AJ Styles or Samoa Joe as the
Christian.
Christian as Kurt Angle as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion was awesome.
I don't know how you dump the history of that. There's so much history just in that title
I mean,
to give it up.
remember what Shane Douglas did?
Yeah.
Basically when ECW was officially born as Extreme Championship Wrestling. But what a great promo that was. He threw the belt down. I mean, that's awesome. But everything he said was kind of true.
Yeah. Very true. But that's what made it good, is it was true.
Well, listen, go back into wrestling history. The stories that are true get portrayed the best on TV.
Right.
Let's you could talk about the Hardy Edge Lito saga.
That
Yeah.
would have been really good if they weren't pushing Edge so much.
You know what? I'm the only
That's
problem
true.
I had with that is that they didn't push Matt Hardy enough as well.
That's why I was getting at, is if you were elevating both stars, it would have been worthwhile, but you had Edge up here, and
Yeah.
all Matt Hardy was just fuel to get Edge higher.
Yeah, which is
They
a shame.
could've-
Matt
Matt
had
could've-
such a big following for that.
Yeah, he could have easily had a world one for the
A token one, just something.
the SmackDown title, the World Heavyweight title. I believe the World Heavyweight Championship was on SmackDown at the time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, look, they did a great job with Edge, notwithstanding, but I like you're saying, I wish they would have had Matt Hardy elevated also.
Yeah, they could have easily say the
kind of like TNA is doing with Matt Hardy right now, which is awesome.
yeah, they when the whole match, it was a steel cage match and loser leaves Raw. You could have had them both fall out the cage, do a no one wins, and just have the Raw general manager going, I can't have this every week. Send Matt Hardy to SmackDown and have him continue to climb the ladder with that fuel of hating Edge, because they still had joint pay-per-views, and you could still have them butting heads at the pay-per-views.
And think about this. Can you imagine, like, if everyone was still around at the same time, if they would have done a double like main event where it was Hardy versus Hardy and Edge versus Christian as your two title matches? How awesome
That's what
would
it
that
could have been when Christian came back. Remember when they were going to have Christian attack.
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, the Jeff Hardy, and the internet ruined it. I'd still say WWE kind of ruined it because, yeah, people knew it was Christian, but you don't have.
Just because something is predictable doesn't mean it's not good.
Like LeBar says, if it's logical, it can be predictable.
That's true.
I mean, I do love logic, you know?
And that would have been a great. You would have the two great tag teams again back in the ring.
Well, on that note, we're on the top of the hour. We've got about 10 minutes left. Ryan, earlier you had said that you wanted to plug something.
Oh, yes, I am going to be live streaming Halo 5 for Extra Life, which is a organization for children's hospitals and hopefully trying to raise some extra cash for the children.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Really good.
Very cool. Eric, what about you? Got anything you want to send off with?
Big things happening with Tag Me a Date. First month's free, as always. Big things popping. Looking forward to big shows that we're doing. We're going to be at WrestleCon. We're going to be at a couple other things. It's exciting.
Yeah, we got a lot coming up. A lot of good things for Taking Me a Date. A lot of new things that we're working on. So it's only getting bigger and better. And according to WWE, 49% of the fan base are now women. So tons of women. And it's free. So why the hell not? Sign up, you know?
Yeah, and I'd also like to add that, and Steve, you may recall this, it was right around the time that we launched, and then the day after or something, WWE did that thing, that article on WWE.com about, what if wrestlers had dating profiles? Come on!
Yeah. Where did that come from?
Just saying.
Sorry, every time that Laps Fan podcast kind of ruined me with anything Vince.
Still, what about you before we lose you again?
What is this fucking website?
My phone is acting up. That's all it is.
All right.
I'll be back on, barring anything dramatic happens in my life.
Well, it's good to have you back, though.
Dude, it was either work, I was sick, or a family coming up and visit me. It was crazy. But I'm back on, so I'm ready to roll again.
Very cool. Well, we're happy to have you back. And again, happy birthday to the Voice, Northeast Wrestling Zone, Vince Berry. Have a happy birthday. Enjoy your night. And we will all be back next week, same time, same place, for another edition of the War Report podcast. We're going to leave you with Jason Carrion from Love at First Sight, promoting Tag Me a Date. And we'll see you all next week.
Hi, I'm Jason Carrion. I got married to a complete stranger, but you don't have to go through that. I want to talk to you about something called Tag Me a Date. Now, Tag Me a Date, you create your profile, and you can meet other wrestling fans. You can meet people, develop relationships with them, and you don't got to go through what I had to go through, where trying to develop a wrestling relationship with my wife. Well, she's growing on it, but not as much as you can grow into another relationship on Tag Me a Date. The first month is free, and I personally absolutely love it, and would do it if I didn't get married to a stranger. We'll do it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Go ahead. What's the wait for? Click.